All right, yeah, whenever you get in here, we'll get started. I have the stage. You can choose it if you want. If you set it to random, it will rotate between the different legal stages, so you can also get some variety there.
Okay. I'll just leave it random.
Sounds good. So, yeah, we'll play a game or two. I'll get an idea of what's up, and then we can kind of get some dialect going from there and see where you're feeling, see what you're feeling on
Sure
everything.
thing. Yeah. Ah.
So, couple things. I think there are definitely times where you panic, like you ended up doing it there right at the end. Ended up rolling in and I caught you with that pivot grab back. Um, Honestly, you just want to kind of stay your ground in those scenarios because the moment you kind of pull the trigger in a panic way, like I'm sitting right outside your threatening range, right? Like that mid
Mm-hmm.
range, maybe like tip rough smash, that's really just punish you. So you want to try and stay a little bit calm there. Obviously, it was a tense game, so I don't blame you too much. Some other things, I think you could. Down throw is one of those options where at low percents, it's really good to get follow ups on, right? Because you can get those nice combos, down throw fair, down throw bear, whatever it is. But at
Sure.
higher mid percents, a lot of the times if you're doing down throw in the center of the stage at like 70, 80, you're not getting anything off it. There are some like tech chase shenanigans you can do, or if you really want to read someone, you can try it. But a lot of the time, go for that back throw, go for that forward throw, even if you're not necessarily near it. It's going to be good damage. It's going to put Wolf off stage or in a more vulnerable spot, and I think that'd be generally better there. Um,
Okay. Yeah, I quick pull a down throw, so yeah, that's
Gotcha.
good advice. I
Yeah.
don't even think about it really.
You know, because those throws, while they do each have their own unique use, sometimes it's more about stage position or where do you want to put me, right? Like if I, for example, if you grab me like a little bit, like a roll's distance in from the ledge, facing the middle of the stage, you know, why not back throw me? Or if you want to forward throw me or down throw me, and I'm at 78, be ready to follow up in a way that's not just throw and then reset. Maybe look where I'm going to jump away, look where I'm going to land, try and catch that. Maybe down throw, get some side B pressure off, right? Get that free damage. You could use those in
Right.
different ways, but you want to think about what is the purpose of doing that throw. Another thing as well is I feel like your Pikmin were a little bit kind of blurred in what the intention with each of them were. Like I never really felt like, okay, using purples for this or using blues for that. Like yeah, blue grab's the obvious one, but I think trying to like really pay attention to each one is going to help a lot. For example, against Wolf, if I will flash to the ledge, right? You didn't have a issue there with it because you ended up killing me thrown on stage. But if I try to like grab the ledge, yellow down smash is insanely good at two framing because Wolf flash doesn't kill yellows. Um,
Okay.
you know, you can use purples for the side B, stuff like that. So try and be a little bit more deliberate with which Pikmin you're using in those scenarios, so you can make the most out of your interactions and really try and get in on me more.
Yeah, that was one of the things I wrote down was like any info on like technical options and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm not like I've watched videos, but it's like hard to
yeah,
apply them or like
it's
so
definitely not
anything
easy.
to be like that.
It's one of those things where it's like deliberate effort over time to build up that kind of awareness. It's not
Yeah.
like, okay, you always need to do something that's super crazy and optimal, but it's like just pay attention. Like, oh, I have a white now. Let me try and do something with white. You know, I can pivot grab, I can do whatever, and try and
Yeah.
make the most out of those interactions.
That's one of my other big things is like attacking shield from air. Like I'm terrible about that.
Like pressuring your shield or someone
Yeah,
attacking you.
like I just kind of like hovering in the air. I don't know what to do, like how to land or anything like that. I guess.
So when you want to attack somebody when they're in their shield, though, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So with Olimar, it's like his safest tools from the air, like forward air and back air, if they're spaced. Obviously, using a purple or a red are really good, or even a yellow in some cases, because the spacing. But purple would be your best one. Purple back air is -3, right, when you space it perfectly, so it's almost unpunishable by most of the cast.
Okay.
And it's just kind of doing it low to the ground, so you're not you want to give yourself less time in the air. Other than that, you have purple side B is a really busted option for that. Up close, it's not the safest. I think point blank fresh is like -6, which is actually better than your up smash. But the real kicker is when you throw it from farther and then approach with it, it actually becomes in some cases plus on block. So you can create legitimate block strings, and that's why I was talking about like earlier with the purple, you know, with the Pikmin usage. Purple side B is definitely something you want to try and work with because it's such a crazy option, and it does so much, and it forces your opponent to adhere to certain ways to play the game. Like right there, you tried to back air, your spacing was a little bit off, you end up touching the ground. So next time you just gotta be a little bit more careful, try it higher maybe so you don't auto cancel in the air.
Right. I guess another thing too is like I could see somebody like sitting there holding a shield, but I'll still like fall right on top of it. And I guess like I don't know if the things to do is to like try and land right beside them while they're holding shield and like try and grab them or something.
Yeah.
But
So
or just run away, like just reset.
there's definitely nothing wrong with just resetting if you're unsure of what to do or if you're in a rough spot. But it's kind of like, okay, what's your lineup? How can you pressure? You know, maybe you can land with a well-spaced forward air on their shield. Well-spaced forward air is also very safe. Purple forward air is -4, so it's not much worse than that. What are you doing after? What are their out of shield options? It'll change. From from the sound of it, though, the big thing is, like, you need to be... If you can catch yourself kind of go, okay, I'm holding shield, or they're holding shield, I need to land on them, then try and put a little bit more thought into, like, okay, what can I do? And you want to trial and error. It's not a one-size-fits-all option. Sometimes you do kind of empty land on them and don't do anything. Sometimes you forward air them. Sometimes you know, purple side me them and land. You could try neutral airing on them, try and shield poke them or cross them up, right? Stuff like that. There's a lot of different things you can do, and later on, a little bit towards the end of the session, if you're fine with it, I'll go Olimar myself, and I'll show you some of the stuff I'm talking about, like ways you can apply those things. But yeah, I mean, don't jump for no reason, right? If you're getting knocked up in the air by your opponent, okay, then yeah, you might land on them. You can try down air or something, but that's a different type of landing. If you're just jumping at your opponent and not doing anything, you don't need to jump, right? You can jump and retreat and throw Pikmin if you want, or you could try attacking. Like I said, you have to trial and error it. And when things don't work, if you just, if you land on someone with a forward air and you get punished, think, okay, did I space that forward air right? Yes or no? What did I do after? Did I try to do a forward smash? Well, forward smash is not a super fast move, right? So maybe you should have shielded, and that would have given you a punish window. Stuff like that. So it's a lot of like that, the same awareness you want to have for like grabbing the blue Pikmin, having that with Olimar. It's just bleeding into every action of your gameplay. It's very hard to like think about everything, but just like little mental acknowledgements will help you throughout the set. So you go, oh, I didn't do that right, or oh, he did this. Let's try something else next time. So something I'm noticing, and I feel like it's, I don't even know if you're catching it. When you get hit, you do, sometimes you'll just panic air dodge or panic like spot dodge immediately, right? And sometimes it's better to shield, right? Like you gotta have a tech situation at one point, and you have spot dodging, and I caught you the backswing of my my down smash. When if you would have just shielded, like I can't kill you with a forward throw as Wolf. If you shield, there's a good chance, I hit you with something unsafe, like a down smash, and you might be able to forward air it, or you don't die. Whereas the spot dodge is very much, I dodge this attack, and yes, I get a punish, but
Mhm.
it's a lot riskier, right? Like if you're fighting someone like a Ness, I would understand like, okay, you know, or not a Ness, but like someone with a kill throw. In that specific spot, I would get it. But you want to try to fight off those panic responses because that's how your disadvantage is gonna spiral. Because there was a lot of times where like I'd hit you and then you would just panic and then it'd get hit again. And another thing is when you're in disadvantage or when we're even in neutral or I'm pressuring you some, be very mindful of what you're throwing out. There's times where you'll like side B in my face and then I end up just hitting you for it because it's not with the purple, right? Where you
Yeah.
could use your tilt, you could use down tilt, you could use jab, forward air, forward smash, right? Like Olimar does a lot of different jobs, but he's very good at zoning it in that mid-range area where he's like, hey, I have a tipper forward smash. That's really obnoxious. Hey, let me anti-air you with my forward air while you're coming in. Oh, you're close? Let me mix you up with my jab or my down tilt on shield or things like that and pop you up. So you need to experiment with those buttons more instead of just running away because you can't outrun most characters. They're just simply faster than you, so you have to be ready to fight them off. And you do have some glimpses of that when we're playing. Like you get your little sequences, some combos, or you may get a forward smash and stuff every now and then. But it's, you
Mhm.
know, push those as far as you can, and when you get back, you know, use side B as a way to further your game plan. Because this,
Yeah, I definitely lean on side B quite a bit. I
it's
feel like I get stuck in doing it, or
it's not a bad option to use. I'm a very side B heavy Olimar myself, but I use it as a way to push forward my game plan. By that I mean I use it to, you know, throw Pikmin at the opponent so that they die so that I get the lineup I want faster like purples. I use it to throw Pikmin on and get damage on. I use it to throw Pikmin and force my opponent to hit them so that then they're vulnerable and then I can hit them, right? There's a lot of
yeah.
different stuff to do it, and I'm not perfect with it either, but you want to have that purpose on why you're throwing them, just like with your actual throws earlier, right? Like it needs to be,
Mhm.
I'm throwing them for this reason, all right? So let's be careful not to do it just to my opponent's face or do whatever, but use my other moves to then help, you know, they're a way to boost the efficiency of your other moves and find ways to get openings.
Okay.
See what I mean about by the side B there?
Yeah. Felt it right when I did it.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely overestimate that move a lot as well.
The down air?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Or the up air from
oh,
the
double. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's one of those things that works really well, but when your opponent's watching out for it, it's going to like, it's not like a sex kick like a Mario Nair, but it, you know, it does have that
Yeah.
initial kind of linger to it.
right.
So I think that was a lot better in a lot of ways. Like I felt like you were scrapping a little more. You recognized, okay, he's near me. I need to be able to swing. You'd anti-air me with those forward airs sometimes. You got to get some good smashes in there. A lot of the down smash. That's one of my favorite smashes. Send to the low angle, good for tech chases, stuff like that. The big issue with you there was, like you saw, there was a lot of times where you'd side B, and I'm just like, okay, nope, that doesn't work here. Even at the end there, I dash attacked. Wolf's dash attack is really good at scooping past the ledge because it just kind of is so big to get those disjoints. I don't blame you for going for that purple side B. Good chance I would have done it too. That's just more like, okay, Wolf can do that. I need to recognize that. Be a little bit more careful when it's like I'm parallel with the ledge, right? Where I'm, I'm horizontal with it.
I'm being right next to the ledge.
You know, space it farther out, go higher, go lower, whatever it is. But recognizing that is how you're going to build off it for next time. So this next game, I want you to keep in mind the times where I was catching you maybe at the ledge with those down airs, maybe play a little bit safer. You have a lot of mobility with that up B. Sometimes you can wait it out, hover there for a second, then grab the ledge. So play around with that, you know, using those side Bs, but keep working on the same, like, core concept you had going into the last game, using those smash attacks, those aerials to kind of box with me a bit more.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go!
Nice, much better, much better. I think your advantage is a lot better there. It's definitely a little bit scary in the beginning, like I was getting some good pressure against you, and I think you didn't necessarily have the best answer to come down, and that's how it is sometimes. I found that with Olimar, sometimes you just have to accept that you're going to eat some percent. Like, you're just going to get messed up in that moment, and the goal, as long as you're not dead and you're able to get back on the ground, that's fine. Because I've made some really crazy comebacks at like 160, not getting touched by anything, because you're able to regain your footing. I think that's what you did there pretty well. Another thing, don't be afraid to pummel at higher percents. Sorry to cut you off real quick. Just don't be afraid to pummel at higher percents. Like, a lot of the times you'll grab somebody, they're almost dead, or you can mix them up, but pummeling also kind of makes it a little bit more ambiguous on which way you're going to throw them. So, you know, just get the free damage. Why not? Like, you grab me at 90, like, go for a pummel, maybe 2, and then chuck a little bit extra percent. That's what you want to do, just chip them up. But, no, you were saying?
I forget now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm bad at like trying to get back down to the ground after I'm like, you know, getting bounced around in the air. I don't really have I don't have a good grasp on what to do to get back down, I guess.
So that is one of Olimar's worst things, is his disadvantage. It's a lot of, one, understanding what options does your opponent have. So in Wolf's case, he has, like, he can try and intercept you with an aerial, maybe back air, up air, whatever, or he can wait on the ground and try and punish you. As an Olimar, you need to kind of just play around with a few options you do have. You have whistle, you have down air, you can do other aerials, but it's usually down air. You have neutral air dodge, which is really powerful because you can fall with it as people are rising, dodge them, land on the ground with very little lag. You have directional air dodge. You have your double jump, and then you have your up B, which is also like a third jump, right? So you can be falling on someone, up B immediately right before you're about to be in their range. They whiff an attack, then you cancel it down and hit them. And it's really just mixing those up, paying attention to where your opponent is in relation to you. Are they coming at you? Okay, they are. Pick your corresponding option. Sometimes it's whistle, sometimes it's dodge, sometimes it's attack, and just trying to know what they want to do to you. Alternatively, sometimes you are getting juggled, you can't do anything about it. I like to just DI off stage, go to the side, and eventually you'll be off stage, and then you can try and transition that disadvantage to more horizontal pressure, try to grab the ledge, and that provides a different set of options.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it is very much pay attention to how your opponent is punishing you. Are you picking options too early? Are you dodging too early, mashing whistle, not giving it as much attention as you need? Are you trying to attack at the wrong time? Are you not burning those options? Pay attention to exactly how they punish you, and then next time, pick the option that corresponds. If they hit you, dodge it. If they hit you, whistle. Up your timing, because that burden of execution does fall on you.
Yeah, if you got any pointers on how to time whistle, throw them at me.
So
'cause
it's early in the
can't-
move, but it's a lot of like when they're right about to hit you, that's when you want to throw it out. There is that natural buffer in this game, and in like Wi-Fi specifically, like we're playing, take your timing with a bit more of a grain of salt, because it does have the additional delay. But you need to be confident in going for it and go, okay, this is the time right now to go for it. And I don't want to say there's like a visual cue per se, because there's not. It's just you see them near you, you think they're going to swing now, and now you got to go for it. And it is relatively instant with the armor being frame 2, so you can be pretty quick with it in that regard. But the best way I can say to get down with it, like better at it, is when you're practicing or playing other people, you need to just get liberal with the usage of it, right? Learn those timings and familiarize yourself when, okay, I can throw it out here. I think I can combo break with this and stuff like that. And if you're unsure, that's why, neutral air dodge is such a nice option as well. It's much more active in terms of invincibility than whistle. The benefit of whistle is the fact that it has a very small animation window, and it comes out faster than air dodge.
Okay. Yeah, I tend to just do neutral air dodge just because I just can't get the timing on whistle correct.
It's a trial and error thing. Like, you can definitely get it down if you just really put your confidence in yourself and go, okay, I'm gonna get this down. Pay attention to when they're swinging. You might not get it every time. I don't, but you have to be willing to take that risk and go, okay, I have to go for it now, so let's try it again. If you mess it up, go, all right, I went too early. Try it again. Things like that. You could even maybe go into training mode if you want, set up like a walled stage. I think the Castlevania one's not too bad, and set like a turtle shell to go back and forth, and try and time it that way so you get an idea of how to do it timing-wise, even if that is really static. That'll give you like, okay, the armor occurs here. This is how late I can react to something visually. That type of deal. And that might give you a more visual concrete, but it's still going to change depending on what your opponent's hitting you with. No. I don't think you'll make that back. Yeah. Unfortunate, but I like some of that stuff there. I think those instances of using the spot dodge are a lot better, right? Like you avoided the grab, you got out of there. That wasn't like you immediately come out of something, you're like, oh no, I have to spot dodge and dodge this attack. It was a little bit more like, okay, we've been in the moment where it's slowed down. Now you think I'm gonna swing now. Definitely seems like a little bit more thoughtful on when you're pulling the trigger. Like you'll see me, I can see you like wait when I'm in reflector and go, okay, don't smash attack, stop real quick, think, do something else, and you did the jab and tried to go for the grab. But that's good, right? That means you're able to fight off that almost autopilot-esque response and go, okay, let me evaluate what's happening in the game. Because you're going to need to do that, because the higher up, you know, players you fight, the better they get. You have to be able to break that autopilot and go, okay, I got to check in real quick. What's happening? What are my Pikmin doing? Where am I? Figure out like a game plan, evaluate what they're doing, and then go and punish. So that was really good there.
Is there anything I can do there?
Down throw, dash attack, I think is true at certain windows. And like, I know it's definitely true at certain windows. There are times where I think if he has rage, if you're a little bit higher, you can whistle the dash attack. But it's not always true from my experience. That was a really good mix-up there. Like right there when you jump and did nothing, like you could have tried to up smash out a shield if you're unsure. You know, if I'm standing there, not having my reflector out, you could try and do a rising aerial, stuff like that. Heck, you could even jump away and do something.
That's my main panic problem, is just jumping.
And once again, like, you're going to make those mistakes, and that's fine, but I want, you know, we got to work on getting you to hold yourself accountable for those mistakes. Go, okay, I did mess up, you know, what could I do better? Even if it's like, just like a mental note, acknowledging it's how you start to correct it. Because then you can start figuring out, you know, different solutions and kind of plugging in and figuring it out as you go. No. Once again, you know, you kind of come in there leaving yourself vulnerable. You don't have any way to cover yourself. You know, you could have just gone to the ledge. You could have gone even straight horizontal. You could have air dodged the ledge out of the before the up B.
Weak side B, yeah.
But, you know, you ended up just putting yourself in a really vulnerable spot. Even if I wouldn't have down aired there, that would have been an easy back air, easy neutral air, something like that. So you've really got to take that into account. Like, just because I'm not immediately near you, like, it's not like, okay, he's immediately threatening me, doesn't mean you're safe, because I will get there. Other than that, definitely a solid improvement from that game. I like how you're using your stuff. I definitely think you can stand to side beat a little bit more now in some cases. Like, I think you're pulling it back. Like, it's finding that perfect balance. So just play around with it. Get out of your comfort zone, because you want to try these things with me where I can go, okay, no, that was a little bit too much, a little too less. But definitely experimenting is the big thing. There, I'm pretty sure you could have air dodged before the up smash. I'm almost confident of it. And that's one of the things where you don't want to just like go kind of limp in the air. Like, there's definitely a difference between drifting away and recognizing, okay, I'm out of here, let's pick an option now and try and do something.
Mhm.
Like, there you could down throw, right? Like, I'm at a low enough percent where you can down throw fair me, or even down throw bear me, depending on what I'm doing. And that's where I think, like, forward throw at that point is not really worth it, because I'm solo on barely doing anywhere. You might as well get more damage off the down throw, and still put me off stage. So I want to go Olimar for a couple games. We'll be all right with that. You can say Olimar.
Yeah.
You can change to whatever. Because I think with you right now, while you're still kind of trying to find that middle ground and get yourself being a bit more aware of certain things, you're definitely segmenting your play. Like, you'll start, stop, and I can tell when you're in the groove and you know what you want to do, but then there's times where you just don't know. And that's normal while you're still figuring this stuff out. But the goal is to work towards being a very fluid playstyle, and that's not to mean you always have to attack all the time, but it's more like, I know what I want at any given moment. So pushing for that is an important thing. So I'm gonna play some games with Olimar. Just try, while we're playing, you know, I'll call things out if I do them well, but also just pay attention when we're fighting, the difference between, you know, me throwing stuff out compared to how you might do it, and how there's just a general higher amount of I guess, fluidity to it. Like, it's very much, I always know what I want with my pick at any given moment.
Yeah. Do you think I'll get more value playing someone else?
Do you play any other characters?
I mean, somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to go someone else, some more traditional character, that's fine. I just know some people only play Olimar, so it was like, if that was the only one where you're very comfortable with, I would say that.
Yeah,
If you can mess around with someone else, no worries.
I'm just wondering if you think I'll get more value just like being able to see what you're doing.
The Olimar did a definitely
definitely
an information overload for a lot of people, so that's
Right.
a good observation.
3, 2, 1, go!
Like, you see, I immediately throw, I get the white, and then I come in with a white grab. They have the increased grab distance, and then I'm able to start pressuring that way. Grab with the red, which in a bad spot, come through down air, barely miss it, but it's fine. Like, I'm going with what I'm doing. I know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
There, I knew air dodge. Like, no need to whistle. It's probably going to be an up air. It's already hard enough to whistle that. I'll just worry about getting back to the ground, and I can start pressuring again.
Right.
Regular get up, purple side B. Super awkward to punish. Whistle my yellow back for the better range. Roll. You see how I wait on ledge? Make it awkward. Now my timing's mixed up. And now I'm just getting that free chip damage. You come in, I F smash you. Awkward as hell. It's not easy to approach. right? It's like, in those moments, I know what I want, and I'm not expecting you to be able to just turn up like that, but it's a way where you can start working to like, okay, I know I have these Pikmin coming up, I know I'm in a bad spot, let's try and take as much time as I can, evaluate the game state, and see how I can do it. Olimar is unique in that, unlike pretty much every other character in the game, he can throw stuff out and just let it rock. And it
Right.
does a lot of that heavy lifting. Like, I'll latch those Pikmin on, and then you're taking that damage. Even if it's a little bit, it's 5-10%. That's huge. And then now you start approaching, and then I throw out a Space Death Smash. Literally no way you can punish that if I do it right. You know, it creates a really uncomfortable, like, space for you. And now, there's definitely times where I'll get, you know, run over. You can pressure me a lot. That's how Olimar is. He doesn't have the best frame data. But even in those scenarios, like you see, I'm on ledge. Let's wait a second. Mix up your timing. So, oh, I'm in the air. Mix up what I'm doing. Stuff like that.
1, go!
You see how, like, there I approach through the platform, my shield poke, it makes it really awkward. I'm not just hitting your shield for free all the time. I'm kind of dancing around it, pressuring every now and then, using the range on my aerials because they are essentially swords, making it really awkward for you to punish.
Yeah, you're like always in my face.
But I'm not, like,
that's-
just directly hitting you either.
Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna go back onto Wolf.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just some stuff I'm talking about where it's like, you know, working towards that, knowing what you want. When we're in these scenarios, when you're practicing, you really think like, okay, what would I like to get here? Oh, I have a white coming up. I would like to get a grab. Oh, I'm grabbing him with a red, and he's at like 40%. That should be, you know, less knockback. Let's try and get a down throw out of it, or sorry, a down throw back air, or maybe even a forward air if you want. Or you could try like a cheeky, see if they spot or air dodge after the down throw and up smash them or forward smash them. Really dig into the viability of the character and go, how can I mix these things up? I need to know what I want, because if you're wasting time having to think in the moment like, what I need to do here, then Olimar is so slow it makes it a lot harder. So it's definitely something to work on. I don't expect you to get it instantly or anything like that, but when we're playing, you know, don't panic, you know, as much as you can. It's hard, we all do it, but just accept what happens, think what can I do better next time, and try and build up almost like a flow chart in a sense. When you get in situations, you know what to do.
Okay. And then before we're done, we might as well ditto once.
Sure.
Just 'cause
Yeah, I got you.
I didn't realize how rough it was with that.
For sure.
I don't know how you feel, but like it's hard for me to go to a different character after playing, you know, Olimar, just because
He's
it's
very
so
different. No, I totally understand. My friends, like, my Olimar is by far and away my best character, but my friends always clown me that I don't have any fundies because I only play Olimar. They're like, you suck with everyone else. I'm like, no, I don't, I promise. It's rough for sure. But, you know, it's worth kind of learning in your own right. I mean, if you enjoy playing Olimar, that's the important reason to play him. But yeah, it is definitely a skill to be able to swap between him a bit more fluidly. That was so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
I waited on
Yeah.
that one. I was like, oh, I know he wants the blue grab.
Yeah.
I like the thought.
Uh,
Wow. Okay. I thought you hit me before the second thing came out. Going, for that game and some of the ones before, do you feel like you're generally a bit more aware of what you're doing and what you want to do, even if it's not always right?
Yeah, I mean, throwing stuff out, I'm like, yeah, that was terrible or something, but I'm still doing it, but I
Yeah.
definitely recognize
So,
it.
but even on those moments where you're doing something good, right? Like there was that point where you called me like 3 dash attacks in a row, just kind of waiting in advantage. Like you had to have been thinking, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm not going to go for anything crazy committal. I'll try and bait him into something or wait and see if he commits. And I did. You called me. Like those are the types of thoughts where you can go, okay, this was good. This isn't something you're going to do all the time. You're not going to triple dash attack to grab somebody. But those are the plays where you're like in my head essentially, and you're going, all right, I've got the control here. These are the thoughts where I'm confident in myself, and you want to try and bring that into those other aspects of your gameplay. So it's that same type of thought process. It's just kind of applied to either maybe you're making a mistake or you're making it work in that moment. Because you're definitely playing a lot more kind of loose now than you were at the beginning, and I think that's good. It's just kind of plugging in the answers. You're also fighting someone who knows Olimar very well, so it's going to be tougher to get away with certain things.
Yeah.
Remember, you can wait on ledge if you really want to mix up the timing. You have a second up there. Maybe get up attack, see what I'm doing, just mess up my timing in general. I know you don't use forward smash a lot. Do you just not feel comfortable using it?
Yeah, I don't usually have great success with it, but
It's really good at that max range. Like if you want to zone with it and just try and pressure, where it's awkward to punish. Outside of like regular punish windows where you're hitting the sweet spot, like it's just a nice like, hey, respect this horizontal space. Ooh. That was really good.
I believe that hit.
That was good. No, that was good. I kept it together. And I felt like there you were like, okay, let's play it safe. I don't need to go too crazy. I'll try and poke, see if he commits. You're playing at a distance where you were able to react to me a bit better. Even online where it's hard, you were like, I'm giving myself space. I'm not like panic picking any options. And that's exactly what you wanted to do, right? Like that's that high tension situation. I'm worried about dying. You've got 2 purples and a blue. Like it's not easy for me either. And you're playing to that strength, and that's an observation you can make moving forward. Like, okay, I have these powerful tools. People are scared of Olimar. How can I exploit that? And that was a moment of that. I'm gonna go Olimar.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think I'm doing what you're talking about. Like, I'm just using Pikmin,
Yeah.
you know, solely for damage.
Yeah, you're not giving the thought to each individual one. And
yeah, that's definitely something I can work on for sure.
I can only do so much in an hour, so it's hard to get that switch to just flip.
Yeah.
But the goal is like, okay, now you know to be working on that. Or if you watch this back, you can go, oh, here I could have tried this Pikmin killer, or I could have done that option, right? And it's to get you moving into that path of where you're more optimal, you're cleaner in certain aspects, and you're playing to those strengths more. So as long as you're observing it, that's all I can ask of you right now, and trying to implement it. That's the best thing.
Right, yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely think, like, leaving here, I can, you know, try and focus on that a little bit more.
Like there, that back air was just really high, and it was with the white, so it's not going to cause a lot of shield pressure.
I don't play many other
Olimars.
Olimars. Like, how do I get them off?
Down tilt and up smash are your best answers.
Okay.
So like right here, I have a lead, right? So you see me just kind of playing far enough back, not really committing anything too crazy, just taking my free side B damage, getting that extra credit, waiting for you to approach. And that's another one of the strengths. You can make it so grueling to get in. It's like, I've got purples. I don't need to approach. Sure, I could. But it's like, you don't even have to. You can even play like this when you're like the neutral stock, right? Like, you might be down a bit, but just chunk people down. Make it really draining to fight.
Yeah, I have a bad, like, complex when they, like, are ahead or something, and I'll still want to play that way, and they're just backing me up to the ledge, killing me at, like, 60 or 70.
It's so hard. It's not like you always play like that. There's definitely time to go aggressive, but it's something you can do. You can take that time and, like, okay, let me just get my free percent. Let me see what they're gonna do. Let me see if they budge first.
Like when I play online, like I do good against, you know, obviously people who can't me, and like I do pretty good at that. But like, it's people who are up in my face. Like,
it is hard. It is hard because you're gonna fight people who are really good at it. And the goal's like, and that's what I was saying with Wolf earlier. Like, you have to be able to swing and get them off you. It's just when you get a lead or you get a good lineup, maybe 2 purples or something. That's when you can really keep them out. You're like, oh yeah, come on, run at me. Get through this wall of attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, retreat. Like, I don't mind giving up a little bit of stage. You gotta get through 2 purples.
Yeah.
Like right there, space back, use tip of F smash, the yellow more range. The goal's not to like brute force my way into anything, but instead to gradually chip you down. I like this a lot. I like the thought. But you see, that's another way I there. I use up B, but I recognize that okay, you're not going to be able to do much, and then I wait to really get in there until you commit to the grab. There's a lot of little optimizations where I'm like, okay, wait and do this or change them just barely here because there's so much open-endedness to it.
That's something I never would have like thought of, just like hanging right there.
It's literally like take Peach float and put it in any direction, and it's a bit more committal. That's what it is. It is crazy. It's a third jump that lets you hover there, and I can't tell you how many. Like sometimes I'll fight people, and they'll be at the ledge, and I'll up B right above the ledge. I'm just hovering there with my back to them. So the moment they regularly get up, they're back air. The moment they roll, they're forward air. Like they're going to die.
Yeah, that's.
And you just threaten so well. I think you played those pretty well though for not having played it too much. Solid session overall. Just keep working on the stuff we were talking about, thinking about what are you using your Pikmin for, how can you optimize it, should you be swinging, really push your spacing. If you mess something up or it doesn't work out, you get hit, ask yourself what happened here. Did I make a mistake? Did I miscalculate? If so, what can I do better? How can I adjust it next time? And trial and error it, and you'll slowly build up a better kind of understanding of these interactions. And that's going to help your decision-making process to be able to break that autopilot, because you're going to be asking yourself. You're going to be taking the time to think about those interactions, whether you're winning or losing.
All right.
All right. Do you have any last-minute questions?
No, I think I'll just have to go and review. It's like a lot of information to take in.
For sure.
Stuff,
It's definitely a lot. Good stuff, though. I will send you the VOD whenever it's uploaded, and have a good night.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it so
No
much.
problem, dude.